Let's begin our video with this equation which we have already arrived at. Sin squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1. We arrived at this equation, or you may even call it an identity, using the Pythagorean theorem for a right angle triangle. The Pythagorean theorem talks about the lengths of the sides of a right angle triangle, whereas using this we arrived at the equation sin squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1, which deals with angles of a right angle triangle. This theta stands for angles and it can take any value. This variable theta can take any value and the equation holds true for all those values. Now we are going to use this as a base. We have arrived at it in our own Math Decoded channel. I will provide the link in the description below. You may watch that. But even if you don't, you will surely understand what is going to follow. Now, using this equation, we are going to arrive at a relationship between other trigonometric ratios also. If you can recall, we had 6 trigonometric ratios. We had defined 6 trigonometric ratios, out of which 2 of them are involved here. You can express sin squared theta in terms of cos squared theta like this, using this identity. Now we are going to explore if we can use this same identity to arrive at a relationship between other trigonometric ratios. For example, we had defined tan of any angle to be the sine of the angle divided by the cos of the angle, isn't it? And we had also defined the cosecant as a reciprocal of sine. So using all this, let's see if we arrive at a relationship between tan, cosecant, secant and cot theta. So just for a trial, let's divide sin squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1 by cos squared theta first. Let's divide the whole thing, both the right hand side and the left hand side, by cos squared theta and see what happens. Dividing it, let me rewrite the equation. Sin squared theta plus cos squared theta, the left hand side is divided by cos squared theta. And what about the right hand side? That is also 1 by cos squared theta. In order to balance the equation, we'll have to divide both sides by the same quantity. So we have done that, and our next step would be to split this. This sin squared theta plus cos squared theta divided by cos squared theta is the same as dividing each of them by cos squared theta. This is just the reverse of addition which I am doing here. What do we do while we add two fractions? We find a common denominator and then we put the numerators together. Now the common denominator is already there and we are going to split it and write it. It is the same. There is no difference between these two. And this side remains the same, 1 by cos squared theta. Now looking at these ratios which we have already written here, sin squared theta by cos squared theta can be written as tan squared theta. Actually, sin squared theta is the same as sin theta the whole squared by cos theta the whole squared, isn't it? So it can be written as tan theta the whole squared, which is in turn can be written as tan squared theta. So I won't write down everything because it's quite confusing. Let us just jump to the tan squared theta directly. But I hope you understood the background behind all this. Plus cos squared theta by cos squared theta is 1. They get cancelled. They are the same. Both the numerator and the denominator are the same. So it is equal to 1, and 1 by cos theta. So let me mention that also. We are just recollecting what is 1 by cos theta. 1 by cos theta, the reciprocal of cos theta is equal to secant theta. So this is equal to secant squared theta. Now using our first identity, we have arrived at a new identity which holds a relationship between tan and secant. So this identity has a relationship between tan and secant. Let me call this 2, identity number 2, and the first one is identity number 1. So 2 has been arrived at by dividing number 1, the identity 1, by cos theta. So let us just divide it by sine theta and see what happens. So let me rewrite my first identity again. Sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1. Actually, you don't have to remember all this tan squared theta plus 1 etc., because all of them are arrived at using our first identity. So it's enough if you recollect the first identity, sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1. But for those of you who can't even recollect that, don't worry, just go to our Math Decoded channel, the video link which I have provided below, and you can even arrive at this identity, the first identity, using a famous Pythagoras theorem. You just watch the video and you will understand, because Pythagoras theorem is something which is embedded in our brains since we started off with right angle triangles, isn't it? So now coming back to the topic, we are going to divide this by sine squared theta on both sides, the right hand side and the left hand side. So let's see what happens. Let me split it and write it like I have done it before. This is equal to sine squared theta by sine squared theta plus cos squared theta by sine squared theta is equal to 1 by sine squared theta. Now look at these ratios which we have already written. Cosecant theta is 1 by sine theta, and one more which I haven't mentioned here is cot theta. What is cot of any angle? Cot of any angle is cos by sine. Cos theta by sine theta. So using these two, sine squared theta by sine squared theta is 1 plus cos by sine is cot, so cos squared by sine squared theta is cot squared theta is equal to, and what is the reciprocal of sine theta? It's cosecant theta. So this is equal to 1 by cosecant squared theta. So we have arrived at our third identity also here. Oh, I have made a mistake here. It is not 1 by cosecant squared theta. 1 by sine squared theta is equal to cosecant squared theta. Right? Cosecant squared theta. And this is our third identity. So we have arrived at three identities, or three equations which state the relationship between all the 6 trigonometric ratios. So let me rewrite all of them one by one in a new page. So the first one which we started with was this one, sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1, and then we arrived at 1 plus tan squared theta is equal to 1 by cos squared theta is secant squared theta. So this was the second identity which we arrived at by dividing the first one by sine theta, and now the third one which we found was 1 plus cot squared theta is equal to cosecant squared theta. Once again I am stating you don't have to remember everything. That is why our channel is for. You don't have to memorize things. Please try to understand, and it will automatically, you will be able to use all of them if you understand all these concepts. Thank you.